level. You know, I was just at Green Experience last week, and Mark was talking about the masses, and I loved that because we're holding this training on a Saturday, and you know, the masses, the majority of people are out there, you know, they're on the beach today, maybe they're on the boat, they're at the tiki bar, but you guys are here, you're taking a step to change your life and to change your business. You guys deserve a round of applause. Okay, so first off, we want to see who's here, and then we're going to get right into it. So, do we have any new distributors that just joined us today? Woo! You guys are crazy. You were blowing up my inbox until 2 a.m. last night. So, I had somebody from, I think it was Grand Forks, that came here last night. Are you in the crowd? She was asking if she could get a ticket at 2 a.m. I'm like, just come. No excuses, right? Awesome. Okay, so who do we have in the crowd who is 30 days or less with It Works? Go ahead and stand up for us. Welcome. Awesome. We're so excited you're here. Who do we have who is at their first level? They're a distributor with the company. Go ahead and stand for us. Go ahead and stand. And our rubies. All right, let's see our emeralds, soon to be diamonds. Welcome, guys. Now these next groups of people are going to be really loud, right? Alright, where's our diamonds? Awesome. Double diamonds? Alright, where's our triples? Welcome, guys. And our presidentials. And Jill Baggy is one too, so we'll just clap for her even though she's not here yet. She'll be here shortly. Do we have any ambassadors in the house? Do we have any future ambassadors in the house? Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. I'm really excited about this first segment. We have with us two pioneers in the business, two people that really helped kick off Minnesota, and I'm so excited to welcome them. They're going to talk a little bit about how this crazy rap thing got started in Minnesota, and we're so excited to have them. So, Darlene and Katelyn.
I'll have to take it from her.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, sir. I get nervous. I'm not nervous. I have nervous energy. I like to walk. I gotta stand. Okay, I gotta stand. Yeah, because I have such nervous energy. I'll try to sit.
I'll try to keep her seated.
I love the word pioneer. Didn't you think if we should have been in a stagecoach or something?
With bonnets on?
Yeah, with bonnets on. I'm Darlene Roth, and I actually opened up Minnesota 6.5 years ago with this crazy rap thing.
Woo!
And I'm Katelyn Mariha. I followed her by a month. So we're the first 4 people who really were.
Really got it out.
Yeah.
And the fun thing is, we're going to kind of give you back. We're going to go back a little bit of time because all of you new distributors in here did not see, you've come into the green bling, the black here, you got t-shirts, you have all this other stuff. We want to kind of go with a little bit of how we got started. So just to give you a little bit of a background, and we should probably do the background now too, right?
Well, first I just want to say, Darlene, what is your distributor number?
22909.
And mine's 24267. And within the time that she joined and I joined, they only put 1,250 people. That was customers and distributors
That was
in
their
the
numbers.
business.
So we're called the Fiver Club.
Yeah.
We're still in the, or we can remember our numbers. I was a business owner when I first went into an expo, and I saw this crazy wrap thing, and at the time there were the old banner, there were these, I call it 2 butts on the wall, and was very interested at the health fair to say I'm going to try it. When I went in, Debbie Sassig is my sponsor, and the booth, you guys, what we have now is so incredible as a booth, but I was in some tiny little tent thing, and they wrapped me up fast, and their display was kind of, and you didn't, when we talked, you didn't know what they were talking about. I couldn't quite catch it, but I did catch that I wanted to make some extra money. I had a very good business, 20 employees. I did not really need any extra money, but my husband and I worked together, and I thought this would be great for me to get away from them a little bit. And I want to tell you, the good Lord has a very good sense of humor, because we work closer now than we ever did. But it took me 2 months to get on board with this business, and I called every day Debbie Sassett, and I'd ask her questions. At the time, I didn't know how to text. So I would call her and ask her questions, and she would answer. Thank God she did. So if you ever have anybody that's asking you questions and you're going, would she just sign up? Because I never signed up. And we're going to go through this in a few minutes, but I was lucky to have Pam Sauer call me, and I do a great impression of her. One day I got a phone call. Darlene, this is Pam Sauer with It Works. And I remember where I was, and I said, hey Pam, how you doing? She said, I hear you're on the fence, girl. We're coming to Minnesota. Can you put a party together? I said, 2 weeks, I'll have a party. We did 2 back-to-backs. That was my beginning. So this is why we can share so much with you.
Well, and my friend was at that party, and she called me and she says, are you sitting down? And I said, well, I can. And she says, I'm at this party, and they've got this wrap thing that's covered with herbs, and they put it on people's body, and they're losing inches in 45 minutes. I said, sign me up. And she said, well, I haven't even signed up. And I said, go sign up and call me back.
So that was the beginning of this dream and this journey. So what we're going to do is kind of take you back a little bit and go through some of the materials. Katelyn has been saving all these antique materials since we are pioneers. We have all these antiques and stuff. But anyway, we'll go to the first slide.
It's not coming out.
Okay.
We're having technical problems.
When they do,
Well, I'll show this. Our first Blitz card was called the butt card. And they were actually this big. And it was Pam came up with this idea that everybody in the company was going to go out and recruit on the same day. So they made this card, called it the butt card, and our business cards were also called the butt card because they had these 2 butts on. And we all went out with these, and I don't know how many people there were at that point, but that's how the Blitz card got started.
hard to put in your purse.
Yeah.
Or your pocketbook, or any of that. And so when we got started, here's how we're gonna just tell you a story if they can pull up some of the things. Katelyn and I and Shay Lisa and 8 of us drove down to the headquarters 2 months within about 2 months after we were in. And we drove down to Michigan in an RV, packed ourselves up in a motor coach and drove on down. And I gotta tell you guys, the building was probably double the size of this room. That was the headquarters. They rolled out the carpet for us. We showed up at Debbie Saxon's house. In fact, we hadn't even signed up. I hadn't signed up when Pam came out. So Mark Pentecost showed up and was going, very curious why Pam came out to Minnesota to see some people that were coming down and finding out about the company. Red carpet treatment. We got to Debbie's house. We had a wonderful lunch.
We slept on Debbie's floor.
We slept on Debbie's floor. We went to the headquarters the next day. We met Carla Burns. All of you know who Carla Burns are. If you haven't, you'll know who she is. She's one of the black diamonds to be, but she's incredible.
She's our nutrition specialist.
She created the ProFit. She created the Essential Bars. She's awesome. We had also met Mark. We had also met with Cindy Pentecost. They showed us their shipping room.
And their shipping room was a table maybe that long, and a few boxes, and 1 person. And that was it. And they had all this empty room because they didn't really have anything to put in it, so they put up a basketball room. And at lunchtime they'd shoot hoops.
1 location, 3 customer service people. When you called in, you could say, I'd like to talk to Sharon. That's how easy it was. We could go in and sign our name off for those who live in Michigan. The reason that we're telling you this is because today when you go through and you see all these things we're going to show you, we've come a long way, and yet you are still at the beginning of this company with an incredible opportunity. In fact, I was the 17th triple at the time, and then after that, they had my picture on the shelves, and they took it off, and we started getting more people. Presidential, and very few of us started out presidential. And now where you're at is the opportunity, the branding, all of the information that they're giving us, the $99 we started at.
$2.99 for us to join.
Plus we bought product. So it was a little bit different at the time. So they've come a long way with great vision. And in 2008 was when I started. 2009, we went debt free.
Yeah.
And the reason that we went debt free is because they don't believe in putting money on hold or on a charge, but they want to make sure that everything we have is paid off and they can give it back to you.
Well, yeah, and the importance of a company being debt-free is that they can put it all into the comp plan, and when you find a company that's debt-free, they're going to be around for a long time, because a lot of the companies that start and fail are because they don't have the money to keep going. Our company has it.
And we set up really good. So since they can't get the slides on, we're just going to go through just a couple of things that we can bring up to you. One thing is that we had a fabulous website in 2008. Mark, Rusty, if you guys know Rusty, had lost a lot of weight. Rusty and his wife stood behind his jeans. And that was our website. That was our beautiful design. And our colors were...
This was one of the marketing materials. So it was really cheesy, and I don't even want to send anybody there, especially professionals, because on the bottom part was a hologram of Mark Pentecost. He would walk out of the side of the website.
Hi, I'm Mark Pentecost.
And we couldn't get him to stop.
I want to welcome you to the company. Rusty was here, Mark was down here, and people were doing this. Get off this computer. And that's the only way you can do it. In the website, every time you turn on your back office replicated site, that's when you saw it.
Well, then he lost some weight. He lost some weight using our products, and so he walked out of his fatter self.
Our e-suite was just our genealogy. You wouldn't be able to learn. We had no training academy. We had nothing like that.
It wasn't even genealogy. It was just a list of people that you'd sign.
And when you would learn, everything was very different. So I'm going to go into, since we still can't get this, my first party with Pam Seller. Because this was like, oh, you're kidding me, I'm going to do this. I had 15 women back to back at my party. Pam and Debbie Sassett came in, and we started wrapping. None of the boxes were identified, so you were either opening up a facial or opening up a body wrap, and not knowing which was which, because they were all the same. Whoa! How far we've come. Okay. They're still going to get that up there, so we'll do that.
Hold on, this is very weird, you guys.
We're almost there. When Pam Sauber came out, what we had, she asked for a flip chart. One of those big flip charts.
Blank paper.
Okay, that's us at the RV. We had arrived. Okay. And they put diamonds on the table to say the diamond is the place you want to be, even though there weren't very many diamonds. So that was us, and it's hard to see them, but that was us when we first arrived for the red carpet with the company. They were awesome. Our first Minnesota boot camp, we started holding boot camps right away. We were starting to train immediately.
And what that meant was Pam came here, and there were 30 people in the room.
And that was one of them. That was, can you hold that on, Crystal, or just wait for a second?
Yep.
Okay. Here's your first party, and we do want to go over a couple of these things, because this is where we kind of have our thing coming down here a little bit. When Pam did my party, I had 15 people in the room. Pam had a large white sheet flip chart. You all know what that is? And so we did a little bit of the greens test, and then Pam talked about the opportunity on the level 7. Have you ever heard of the 7s? Now, if y'all get 7 people in the business, and 7 of those people bring another person into the business, we got 14. And she went through called the level of 7s, where that's, now you have the steps to success, the Ruby, the executive and stuff. That's what we did. Dr. Don got a 20-minute presentation of how the products work, so we all had to put that on and watch and listen to that. We don't do that anymore. And then there was a time we had a CD that would run over and over and over while you're wrapping people. Things have come a really long way. We're a lot simpler now. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm not sure this is going to be for me. I couldn't handle Dr. Don. I love it for 20 minutes on tape where we had to all watch it. But it was awesome.
Well, in my first party, because we didn't have anybody to train us, it was the 4 of us. We didn't know anything. So my first party, I invited people. 2 people came, and I just stood up and said, I don't know anything about this, let's just rap. and they both signed up as distributors.
So anybody can do it, anywhere, anytime. We did not have pictures. We all created our own pictures. We created our own literature. But what we did do is we worked our business, because we went in blindly saying, okay, there's got to be something here, and we loved the corporation, we loved the people, we knew that they were behind us. We went to our first conference after that. After our RV trip, we went to our first conference.
It was in 2008. It was in 2008, and it was at the end of the year, like September, they had their conference.
And there was a room about the size of this, and we all had tables. It was 180 people actually, and there's more people today than what our first conference was.
Yeah.
Can you see how far you've come? How many of you have been to green carpet? How many have been to conference? Okay, so you've seen really the difference.
So just to give you an idea, that one, how many people did you say?
180.
At that one there were 180, and then the next year that we went there were like 480. And this year, in January, there were 10,000 people.
Which is pretty cool.
Wow.
And then in green carpets, we were at green carpets when there was, we thought, like, I went down to the store for a big old candy bar. When we were down in, but you know what, when we went to our first green carpet, there were 30 people at the green carpet. And now they had to get a whole convention center for the green carpet. And it's only been 6 years. When I came in, we only did $5 million a year as a company. We're hitting $1 billion this year. And there's still room for everybody in this company to make money. We have watched it move slowly, and now it is blasting through, but your opportunity is absolutely huge. So you have it made because of all the branding and everything that's going on. It's easier.
I was just at a networking meeting a few days ago. There were 50 people in the room, and I said, how many people have heard of the VIA Works rap? One hand went up. That's 1 out of 50 in a room. Wow. We're still in our infancy, even though this company's 12 years old.
Crystal, can you change it to the next? This is Pam Souter and Dr. Don at her first Minnesota Bootcamp. We also, when we were at the RV, went to their first webinar ever. And that's it, all of us holding up Dr. Don. And to tell you this, what I love is there's only 3 of them in that picture that are not with us. The rest of us are still in the company 6.5 years later. And there's, you can see this, yeah, they're going through this. This is okay.
We were at Carla Burns' house and by the pool for the webinar, and we didn't know we were going to be on the webinar. We just showed up, and they said, "Well, we're going to put you on the webinar."
So we were there. Can you go back, Crystal? If you all can see this, that stage right there where Luis Majeras was, and we got a chance to dance and meet him, he was awesome. It was smaller than this, almost, this big or just
it was probably about this size or smaller.
It was brought in, and that was our conference. So, and as you can see that, I'm sorry, there's those 2 pictures, and you can take a look at those panels. There's Denise Walsh and Brandon Walsh. It's kind of hard to see the pictures.
Yeah.
But that's how they did the panels. If you went to conferences recently, you know the panels.
And they ordered all of their banners from Vistaprint. So they had these really cheesy banners up on the wall.
How are we doing on time, kids?
4 minutes.
Okay. So, and I want to bring this up. If you go back to the other one, Crystal, that was in 2010, Coming Eyes and Lefts. They still plan on it. We just got that. And we can go, you can just flip through some of that to the last 3 slides, the last slide. There's Lori.
Lori Saber.
There she is. But here's what we just kind of want to go over. When this company started, which we found out, was there a couple of dining parties at Mark's place? And now you can't get to a dining party, they're so big. And this is one of our trainings. So if you'll hold there right there, Crystal, just hold. When this company got started, what we found out was that it was started, you've heard the story of Pam Souter finding it, but it was also men close your ears. It was done as a boob wrap. So we've come a long ways. And they would literally wrap the bodies, and that's part of what they were doing, and then they turned it into the regular wrap. But they've come a really long ways of where we're doing. Everything they do is with a vision for you to make it easier and better for you to succeed. But it's up to you to do the success. We've seen people come, we've seen people go. But if you're into this company and you say, I wish they had this, just understand that they didn't have it a few years ago. They do everything methodically and they put it with a vision so that it's right for you. Because we're a company that wants to give back to you as money, but you know that's where all these bonuses are coming from. They're methodical.
I just wanted to say a little bit about our products because they introduced the supplement line in 2005, and it came out of Mark looking for a multiple vitamin that he really wanted to put in his body. He couldn't find anything. And so his vision is about getting the highest quality ingredients for the products, and I've seen them take products off of the market even though they're selling like hotcakes because they found a way to improve them. So, and for example, our protein powder, they took 2 years to study all the protein powders on the market to come up with this hybrid formula. And Mark said if anything ever better comes out, they'll improve ours. So like when you see 3.0 on one of the bottles, that means it's the 3rd generation.
That's a good thing. And they took the parabens out in 2009. And actually 2000, at the conference, Louis said, I don't want chemicals. These last 3 pictures are one of we had a wonderful party at our house, and we're going to sort of finish up with this one. When we had our party, we had given everybody a beach ball, because you've heard of beach money. And we want people to dream, and Crystal will probably bring it up, but this made a big difference in Crystal's life too, because she went through all of her dreams on her beach ball. We had a fabulous, fabulous time, but a lot of them are still with us today from this. And our training was awesome, I have to say that, but you go to the last one.
I got it.
Okay.
This is a t-shirt before we ever had t-shirts. Pam Sauter made these. She made about like 25 or 30 of them and sold them to us. And that's her.
That's
So
hard to
and there was a time when we didn't have t-shirts, we didn't have marketing materials, we didn't have anything. And so you might see these in some of the older pictures. And it says, wrap and lose fat on the back. Because we could talk about inch loss and detox at that time.
I will let you know that Pam Sauter has a story, you guys, and you'll see how far this company has come. Pam went state to state, city to city. She traveled in the airlines. She traveled by car. 8 years she traveled trying to get this going. It was 8 years when I met her. And it wasn't going anywhere. 22909, that's my number. That included loyal customers. We were a paradigm shift of the Midwest when we ended up coming to Minnesota. But at that time, Pam was working hard and nothing was happening. And Mark and them said, Pam, we got to stop this pretty soon. And Pam said, no, give me just a few more months and I'll make the change. Never give up, because this is is that my 1 minute timer? Never give up, because if she given up, you would not be here, you would not be making the income you can, you would not be getting financial freedom.
She built this company 1 person at a time, just like we are. 1 person at a time. We can have a huge, successful business.
So best to you guys and your success.
You guys all rock.